Hi, welcome to the 301 Colored Commentators.
What's up, y'all?
What's up? I'm Cy.
I'm Anthony.
Yeah, this is a series where we, two black men residing in the state of Maryland, dissect and discuss various aspects of entertainment, be it movies, music, television shows, and old school pro wrestling.
Yep.
With this being our inaugural episode, we plan to talk about 4 topics. We plan to start off with what music we're currently listening to, then we'll dissect the fairly recently released director's cut of Rocky IV, then we'll transition to the controversial WWF Montreal Screwjob concerning Bret the Hitman Hart and Shawn Michaels in pro wrestling, and finally we'll get to 2 Netflix programs that we've watched, You and the Dave Chappelle The Closer Special.
Yep, so stay tuned. We're in to entertain you the whole segment, so yeah, here we go.
So, yeah, Anthony, what you been listening to lately, man?
Funny that you asked. Matter of fact, some new music that dropped yesterday.
Oh, yeah?
Yesterday was Friday. Yeah, Friday. Well, 2 days ago, Friday. I was unpleasantly underwhelmed. Rick Ross released an album.
You were underwhelmed by?
So he was one. Wiz Khalifa was another. I was underwhelmed. And then also Tory Lanez. Not that I'm a big fan of Tory, but I was I respect his talent.
Yeah.
I know there's a lot of controversy around him shooting Meg Thee Stallion or whatever, so people try to cancel him. But he actually released an 80s themed album.
Is that the one you had me listen to like a few weeks ago with some of those or was that Wiz Khalifa's album?
It was probably Wiz.
It had like a Miami Vice synth.
Oh yeah, it might have been. Yeah, it was definitely was Tory.
Okay,
Tory,
yeah, that was Tory Lanez.
It was Tory. So yeah, he released the whole project. It was okay.
It was a concept album.
Yeah, it was a concept album. It was okay because I listened to it because I know he's very talented. So I expected something great, but it was good. It was good. As far as Rick Ross, I usually listen to Rick Ross for cruising beats when I'm driving, because he has lots of good producers. He's a pretty good, lifestyle rapper.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah,
I mean, what's it called? Even his first record, the Port of Miami, right. The way he starts it off, who was that? He's like, oh, fucking boss.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm like, that's a hell of a way to start off an album.
Yeah, and this one, he continues his little lifestyle theme and his affiliation with like the Miami drug lord greats. He has a segment, a track that has an introduction with Willie Falcone.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he's on there. That's probably, honestly, might be my favorite track as far as the beat.
Is he still sampling and having his producers sample like the Scarface soundtrack and whatnot?
Not as much, but the beat is similar.
Okay.
It's not exactly from Scarface, but the beats are similar.
I see.
But I was underwhelmed. I probably won't give it. I might give it another listen, but I'm not like excited to. And then lastly was Wiz Khalifa. That's one of my favorite rappers. I don't think he's a lyricist or anything. He just gives me vibes. I just love his vibe. I like to chill when I'm in a chill mood or just in any mood that wants to. A happy mood.
Right.
I tend to go to Wiz. He's like one of my go-tos, but.
I do like Wiz. He reminds me more of like a Get Stoned freestyle rapper.
Yeah,
really.
Exactly. And he's just a vibe. He's just like, stoner chill vibe. I really love. He's feel good. He's a feel good stoner vibe guy. But the album, yeah. So what about you? What were you listening to?
Christmas music.
Yeah. I like.
No, not by choice. Not by choice.
It's all on the radio, right?
On the radio, because I had my car, it lacks a CD player. Yes, I still buy CDs, folks.
Yeah. You do have do have the 6. I remember you do have the 6 changer. Right?
Yeah, but I got a recent factory made replacement recently, so I just got to take it to somebody to put it in.
Got you.
But yeah, Christmas music though, that's what I've been listening to. And anytime I hear, even though Mariah Carey is my lifelong celebrity crush, even All I Want for Christmas sickens me even.
FYI. Cy and I go back. We are high school or middle school, and this man has loved Mariah Carey since I can remember.
She's my lifelong celebrity crush since I was a kid. Even though she's thought of the year at this point, I still love her.
I hear you.
But I will say this: the constant Christmas music got me in the spirit. Sort of, because it had me listening to a record that I haven't heard since I was a child. The Jackson 5 Christmas album.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I might. That sounds like something I'd like to go listen back to.
Yeah. Their version of Santa Claus is Coming to Town, that's my favorite version.
I've heard it on the radio. Not this year. I haven't quite gotten to my Christmas mode where I go to stations to listen to Christmas music.
Mm-hmm.
But in the past, they frequently play Santa Claus is Coming to Town version on some of our popular radio stations. So yeah.
When I get my CD player back, and yeah, I have an apparatus where I can hook up my iPod in there, but I'm old school in my core.
Yeah.
That's
And
my
also, like, I don't blame you because like CDs definitely still have the best quality, much better than iPods and
better than MP3s, yeah.
and stuff. Yeah,
they do.
Yeah, for sure.
And vinyl has made a bigger comeback than CDs. Like even Best Buy, they got rid of their CD section entirely, and they have just vinyl.
Yeah, I'm trying to get a vinyl player. Actually, I'm actually interested in that, but that's down the line. I definitely have a vision to do that, but not in a rush to do it immediately. But I will definitely get a vinyl player.
I have one. I got one back in 2007. It's one of those, it became obsolete at the exact moment I bought it. It's one of those vinyl records that converts vinyl into MP3s. But now it's like anything that's not on CD or whatever, it's like somebody has already created like a mega upload or a Z-share link for the album. Yeah, and just uploaded it as MP3 format.
Yeah, so that's why it's obsolete. You're right.
Yeah.
Because now you can literally find it anywhere.
Because I only used it just once, and it's like, wait a minute. All these blog sites and back in the 08, all y'all got this record now? Like,
yeah.
You're practically an antique.
Not only that, with the emergence of like the subscriptions of like, you know, the different platforms like Spotify.
Streaming services.
Yeah, exactly. So
the music format has changed.
Yeah. So you don't necessarily need to like have the MP3 downloaded. You just, with your data or whatever, or your Wi-Fi, you just stream wherever you are.
Right, yeah.
Same thing. So, no, I hear you, man. I hear you. Anything else you listening to besides that? Just
what's it called? Besides Christmas music, what's it called? Some old school classic rock, like bands like Foreigner, Whitesnake.
Oh, dope.
Yeah, I've been on my whole '70s blues rock phase.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I mess with some of that though, so I'm not even hating. That's dope. It's dope.
And plus, a lot of rappers I know they sample from their music too, so it's like hearing how they might have flipped this song. Like how can you find hip hop in that? Let me hear.
Right. Oh, yeah, I feel that way for some rock tracks. So I'm like, wait, how? Or even sometimes you visit some of the rock tracks from the '80s, and you're like, how come no one sampled this? This would be dope if they've spun it on like a nice little bass, like a few bass additions here and there, little tweaks here and there. It'll be a perfect hip hop track.
Yeah, but what we hear, a producer may hear differently.
Yeah. It's not like we're skilled in the art. We just kind of
exactly.
Have all, you know.
It's like what Bill Belichick said once on Jimmy Fallon or Conan O'Brien. Conan was like, "Okay, what if I came in with one of the best plays, one of the best offensive plays that you could ever ask for? What would you do then, Bill?" Well, I'd look at it and be like,
in the trash.
Because we already have enough plays.
Right. That's my guy. Well, no, it's not my guy.
That's my guy.
I respect him.
I'm a patriot. Thank you. He's a cult.
Whatever. We play each other next week, though, so. No comment. No comment. There's no challenge here. That's why there's no comment.
Shall we?
Yeah, let's go in, man.
All right. The first thing we're going to talk about is the Rocky IV director's cut that was released in November of this year.
Yeah.
36 years after the original Rocky IV, back in November of '85. Yeah, and some background on Rocky IV itself. Sylvester Stallone, he wrote, directed, and starred in it. It's the fourth entry of the Rocky franchise. It's the one where Dolph Lundgren, he was the villain of the series as the Russian Ivan Drago. Ivan Drago, yeah. Ivan Drago!
Oh my gosh!
Yeah, and that one was a complete departure for the Rocky franchise. For me and Anthony both, it's our favorite Rocky film.
Absolutely.
But we both know it's not the best.
Yeah.
It's because of how colorful it is and how musical. It's almost like an MTV music video from the '80s, and somewhat cartoonish as well too.
Yeah, absolutely. It's one of those movies where, like I've always said, even back down to when we were in middle school.
Yeah.
What's it? Miss Cosby. Is that her name? TV production.
Yeah, TV production.
She even admitted to this that movie would not have been the same without the soundtrack. The soundtrack almost makes the movie as great as it is.
Yes, it does.
And like you said, like with the MTV vibe, like it has the sound and the visuals kind of go hand in hand. And as a child, we have to understand we watched this movie first when we were kids, so like it was like it had a wow effect on us, and it kind of gave us a glimpse of excitement.
Yes, it did.
Want us to be boxers or whatever, like, you know.
Yeah, even as a grown man now who's nearly 40, if I see one of the Rocky fights on TV or pop one of my Blu-rays in, it's like I can't help but to just pantomime all the fights as they're going on, and give myself a workout, a cardio workout in the process.
100. And even like the music, that's like you were saying, the soundtrack. I could work out to it. I could go to the gym and listen to it, and it'll give me some inspiration, just because it's like it still has the element of nostalgia from when I was a child, like wanting to be that hardcore boxer or muscle man or whatever. So like in the gym, it still has that effect, like some of the key tracks, especially the training montages and stuff.
Oh yeah, definitely that one.
Yeah. So definitely.
I don't think Vince Dicola knew how much of an impact the training montage would have on future productions.
Oh yeah.
Even in actual boxing HBO productions, what's it called? Like I remember seeing the Tyson versus Pinklon Thomas fight back in '87, and they incorporated the training montage into a lot of their promos for that fight and the pre-fight interviews and whatnot. Yeah. Family Guy parodied it. It's been all over the place.
I've even seen it previewed some in the NFL, like some big showdowns of like, you know, anticipated rivalries and stuff. They've like to lead to the promos to it. In the past, they've used Rocky alongside other popular movie scores and soundtracks, but Rocky is definitely one. Between either the war, with the war,
right when he starts beating the Russian,
exactly that, or the training montage. I've seen both of them used in other sports, like you said, boxing, NFL. So yeah. I don't think he envisioned that being the case down the line, but yeah.
I'm glad it made the impact it did have, because it's one of my go-to tracks in my workout playlist.
Yeah, for sure. Especially when I'm running. Goodness. For sure. Yeah.
Alright, this the original Rocky IV, it was already a departure from the previous three films. I mean, there's no mention of Mick, Rocky's trainer, in this film.
At all.
The only nod he gets is like during the No Easy Way Out memory montage.
Oh yeah.
Where he's shown where his dead body is shown in just one frame. Yeah, there's blatant Cold War propaganda between America 100%. And the Russians. Even the opening scene, the boxing gloves,
they have the Russian flag
and the American flag,
banner,
and they collide, and the Russian one explodes, and that basically tells you how the movie's going to end. Yeah, tells you how it's going to end.
I actually wrote a paper on this.
Oh yeah?
In college, freshman year, one of the core classes that you need to require to graduate, not necessarily
English.
Yeah, it's like one of those, you know, in some colleges require you to take other courses, like they call in Maryland, the University of Maryland, it's called the core classes, where like it kind of expands your horizon, not necessarily incorporates your actual major, but
classics, literature,
that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So I took what was it, popular history, or I forget what it was, one of them classes.
Right.
And I forget what the paper was, and I thought this was a perfect segue. Actually, I got an A in it, but it was like I wrote on how they spun propaganda, like in Rocky IV, and
it's something outside what you were used to writing. Like in high school, I couldn't have written that.
Yeah. And you know the funny thing, that's a popular theme in the '80s.
Cold War,
where like the U.S. is the god and
Russia is the evil empire.
Yeah, evil empire, exactly. So, and that's even trickled down to some of the cartoons we used to watch. You probably don't even realize, but a lot of them also use that same theme. That might be a discussion for another time.
Yes.
But definitely Rocky.
And also the other way that Rocky IV departed from the previous three is in this one, Rocky finally starts to beat up white guys. Yeah.
Yo, I never actually peeped that.
Look at Clubber Lang.
Yo, the whole time.
Apollo in the first two.
Apollo, the first two, Clubber Lang, and the third one.
Yeah. And Spider Rico.
Clubber Lang.
Spider Rico, he's a dark Italian.
Yeah. So. Clubber Lang was the hood black guy, and then
Apollo was the flashy
guy that made it out.
Yeah, basically.
Oh my god.
That's why Clubber didn't like him.
Little BS, dog. You know what? I never actually peeped that. That's a good observation. Yeah, it's actually his first white opponent.
Yeah.
Wow, good one.
The trailer The trailer, the original theatrical trailer, they had scenes that were not included in the original movie, but for the director's cut, they restored those scenes in there. Yeah.
Okay.
Like the different angles of Apollo's fight with Drago.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And Rocky getting shot down by the American Boxing Commission when he wanted to fight Drago. Their reasons being he's had one professional fight and one man is dead.
Yeah. I don't think I've actually. If I did see the trailer, it was ages ago, so I don't remember that detail. But
I didn't see the trailer until I bought the Rocky DVD set from Cat Mill Music back in 2003.
Oh yeah, I remember that throwback store.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man. But back to this. There's a lot of differences in the re-release, and I was not impressed at all. Despite the original being, full of propaganda and, all that excess baggage, it still made the movie great. I'm not even gonna lie, but the new one was just weird. It was like Sylvester Stallone was gearing towards modern times where he didn't want to offend anybody. Almost like, it was like, okay, less about the propaganda, more about...
Like he was like trying to be woke.
Yeah, exactly. It was just weird.
Yeah.
It was just weird, and I think it ruined the movie, in my opinion. But I'm glad he did not make the latter release the original. It might have ruined... Rocky would have ended at the fourth one. Yeah, it probably would have failed.
Have you put this one out, there'd be no Rockies at all. There wouldn't be no Creeds.
There would be no Creeds either, exactly.
Yeah, because this movie right here, it was like the Highlander 2 of the Rocky series.
Yeah.
Like, what were you thinking and why? Because, like, let's look at there's a laundry list of things that were different.
Yeah.
From the beginning, let's see. There were no exploding boxing gloves at the beginning of the film with the American glove and the Russian glove.
Right.
There was no Rocky versus Apollo sparring at the beginning.
Yeah, right at the beginning, like that segued into the movie. It was kind of like the conclusion of the third one going into the fourth one.
Right, yeah. Because that's how he used to do all the Rocky films, like a brief recap of what happened in the last film, at the end of the last film. And segues into the new film.
Yeah, exactly.
And what it does here is it extends the Rocky 3 recap by 10 minutes and just chops it. It makes it all choppy.
Man. Yeah, even like the way he beats Clubber, it was weird. It was off. It was off.
It was different angles and like different sounds.
Different sound, exactly. Yeah. It was off. It just made him look almost like a pansy.
It did.
Yeah. It was terrible.
Paulie's birthday, that wasn't in there.
That wasn't in there. The
robot.
Drone, the robot.
The robot. Sicko the robot. The transgender robot was not in there. Seriously, how long did the robot?
It was low key transgender. You couldn't tell. I mean, it was shaped like a woman. It sounded like a woman, but it was just.
At first, it was a robot. Don't worry, I'll clean it up for you, Paulie.
Yeah, then it became a woman later.
Yeah.
At the beginning, it was It had more bass at the beginning, and then it slowly transitioned into a sweetheart. Yeah. It was almost as if Paulie programmed it to.
But how the hell does Paulie know how to do that?
Right.
Unless Paulie got some hidden debts other than a racist Italian Archie Bunker.
Right. Seriously. It was like he programmed it to be his mistress or something.
Yeah.
It was really...
Yeah, and that was funny though. And they took out the robot completely in the film.
Yeah, they took it out. I kind of get it. I kind of get why he did that. It still ruins... We're still used to the robot being in it, but like... The robot was way ahead of its time. Seriously, it was like neural network learning mechanism.
Skynet.
Yeah, exactly.
That robot was a T-800.
Exactly. It just definitely would not. It was just out of its time.
And during that time period, like a lot of movies were like incorporating like a living robot in them, like Short Circuit. That came out.
Yeah. So that was exactly. It was a trend at the time.
Mm-hmm.
So
it was a trend. Yeah.
Yeah, but like, I guess when
number 25.
95. I'm alive. Mm-hmm. But it was like I guess when he was reviewing it to re-release, it was like, if you would actually apply some common sense to this movie, it's better best that we take it out.
Is that what he was trying to do? Because if he was trying, he failed.
He did. He did. That was the least of his worries, because everything else that he added was just terrible.
Yeah, it's like there's no anniversary cake scene in bed with Adrian.
Yeah, that's right. That was missing.
No car wash scene where his son says, "I want to learn to fight, Dad."
Right.
No
getting dizzy when he was talking about.
Papa, what am I doing? I'm just getting dizzy.
Yeah, I remember that.
Drago. no steroid question or Popeye joke during his media training exercise, and they took out the part where
he's like you, Popeye.
Yeah. Like, ain't none of y'all Russians neither.
Right, exactly.
All y'all some Swedish, Scandinavian.
Right. They're all Scandinavian. Closer to Viking than you are.
Than you are Russian. Yeah. They just got chosen because y'all blonde.
Exactly right.
Yeah, the blonde, evil, icy blonde image
square
was
jaw. Yeah, all that. Yeah.
Like a high top fade damn near.
Exactly. What else was missing?
Go.
The punching, the sparring. Well, it wasn't sparring. It was more like training session.
Yeah, demonstration.
The order of that was weird.
Yeah.
And like the breakdown, his manager or whatever, he was breaking down, the pressure of the average punch.
Average heavyweight. Yeah,
heavyweight punch, and then how Drago's was like way, strong.
Like double that.
Double that. Yeah. But then that was taken out, so it was just like, wait, what just happened? It felt like it was almost rushed.
Yeah, it's like they just showed Drago just hitting the pressure per square inch.
Yeah,
that's it.
Yeah,
they didn't even give like a vocal demonstration of what that means. Yeah,
exactly. It was just weird. And then, after that, the yard scene.
Yeah, between Apollo.
That wasn't in the. That wasn't even in the original at all. So that was just. It was just like, what is going? They even took out the part when Apollo was in the pool.
Oh yeah. When he first learned the Russian.
Yeah, the Russian when he was playing with his dog.
Yeah, they didn't have that at all. Yeah.
Fiction, right? yeah. Exactly. That was like that. I don't know what Rocky Stallone was thinking.
Neither. They cut the robot interrupting during the dinner talk. Apollo and Rocky watching the fight. Even that was choppy.
Yeah, it was like remixed.
It was remixed. The one thing that was taken out was when Rocky says, "I like who you are too, Apollo, but look at that.
We
don't believe it, but that ain't us up there no more.
Right.
We can't do like we did before. We're changing, like regular people." They took that out.
Yeah, and like in the original, it almost felt like Apollo was starved of attention, and he was just kind of like, he felt like he was hopeless and he was trying to reinvent himself. Whereas in the newer one, it was like he was bitter.
Yeah.
He was like mad and bitter that he wasn't
number one anymore.
Yeah. It was
like, dude, you retired.
Right. It was a different sentiment in the re-release from the original. It was kind of
exactly. And it kind of negates his characterization in the third film too.
Yeah. Exactly. Because
he's still kind of flashy and showy, but at this point, it's like his ego is toned down.
Exactly. It was almost like they ramped it back up in the new one.
Yeah, it's like the appearance of the Russian got you that fired up.
Yeah.
It's just a plot device.
Yeah. I'm just glad this wasn't the original, honestly.
Me too. What else was cut?
Yeah. I'm thinking,
no dressing room scene before Apollo's fight.
Yeah. That was out too.
The music before Apollo's fight, that ominous dark music, like you will when it's over.
Yeah, exactly. That segues to the Russian's locker.
Yeah, they moved Drago's wife smoking to the fight instead of after the first round, it was before the fight even got started.
Yeah. And they also did they skip the intro of the wives?
Yeah, they did. They didn't even show the wives actually.
I feel like I remember seeing that.
Good luck. I hope afterwards we can be friends.
Yeah. Fight those nut soldiers.
Nice choice of words.
Right, like
symbolism. Yeah.
Exactly. This is exactly. That was definitely a push of that propaganda in the Cold War. You know what I'm saying?
After your husband done killed her husband, you still hope we can be friends after that?
Right. It was really off.
It was so off. The fight, like a conversation between Rocky and Apollo in between between the two rounds.
That was weird.
That was weird. And Apollo's fight also, they had him get knocked down in the first round.
Yeah.
They never showed that in the original.
Yeah, and also they didn't introduce Rocky. I don't think they introduced Rocky.
They didn't introduce Rocky. During Apollo's fight, Duke just says throw the towel instead of extravagantly yelling throw the damn towel.
Yeah. Before the tragic punch.
Yeah. And Duke even had a speaking part at Apollo's funeral. Rocky's speech was longer, and he talked with Adrian.
Oh yeah. I forgot about that. Yeah, I forgot about that. That wasn't there.
And the what's it called? The deleted scene that I mentioned about that was included in the
promo?
Yeah, in the original theatrical trailer, about when Rocky goes to the American Boxing Commission. Yeah, that full scene is included in here.
Oh, that was when they were at the table.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I think I remember that.
Yeah, they weren't. They
could have done without that.
Yeah, I mean, the periodicals that happened after the funeral, they explained that.
They did.
And another offhand remark during the Rocky Drago fight right before it began, one of the international announcers, they said, "This fight has not been sanctioned by the American Boxing Commission.
Oh, I remember that.
It's not for the title."
Yeah. And it sounded just like that too. I do remember that. Yeah. That wasn't on there.
What else you got?
On the original, that is. On the re-release.
Right. That wasn't. No, it wasn't in there.
Yeah, it wasn't in there. What else? Let me see if I remember.
The second press conference. Yeah.
Yeah, the second press conference was weird. They made in the re-release. They made the Russian look like an idiot because he actually tried to talk.
Yeah, even after he killed Apollo.
Yeah, exactly.
Like
he's like. You remember my name?
Drago.
Oh my God!
Stop talking. You're better when you say less.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's kind of what made his character what it was. He didn't say much. He was almost like a Terminator.
Yeah. I must break you.
Exactly. If he dies, he dies.
See, that was a cold line itself.
Yeah, just like simple.
Yeah, adding this extra dialogue, you made him like a cartoonish supervillain.
Right.
Like exactly, like a stereotypical '80s Cold War supervillain.
Exactly. In the press conference, he was I can talk.
Yeah.
And like he just looked like an idiot. Like he was out of place.
Out of his place. Yeah, like he shouldn't be there. Like no wonder your wife talks for you.
Right. Exactly. Which is weird, man.
And the "he's gonna kill me" speech that Rocky has with Adrian in the stairwell at home. It's
remixed, right?
It's remixed, yeah. It's moving the staircase talk with Adrian to the cabin with Duke.
Oh yeah. Well, after he goes to Russia, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And another thing, the memory scene, the memory montage, there's no easy way out.
It was black and white.
Black and white. All the memories are black and white. I guess because in psychology they say that wasn't your memories. You never think of them in color. But do you? And they say you don't dream. They say you don't dream in color either. But it's like, I don't.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Still, it was just Ooh, I wonder what Stallone was thinking, dog. Anyway.
I chalk it up to him being a 75-year-old man.
Yeah.
But I don't.
Yeah.
He's an interesting character. He can actually act when he wants to, and make a good film when he wants to. If it's all a matter of when he wants to.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And I believe right before he leaves for Russia, because there was no robot, they kind of have him extended. Was he talking to Adrian in the kitchen first, or was he talking to his son? Was that extended?
His son.
Yeah, his speech with his son. Was extended. His
dialogue was extended.
It was different, a little different.
And they added the scene with Adrian in the kitchen. They added that.
Yeah, and then the meter's running or whatever.
Yeah.
That was.
You hear that from the outside.
Yeah, because the robot isn't in it anymore, so you don't. They don't pan to that scene. But yeah, that was out a minute. Also, when they land or whatever in Russia or whatever.
That whole scene, the burning heart scene was just offbeat completely.
Yeah, it was just off. When they get out of the plane, Paulie's scene is a little.
And they added that earmuffs joke between him and Paulie.
Yeah.
It was more dramatic than the original.
Right.
Yeah, it was better.
Right, exactly.
And it got me hyped. The Burning Heart song, that version of it in the movie, it's
it's not the same.
Not the same at all. No.
Not the same. That's one of the best songs on the soundtrack.
It is.
Yeah. So they threw that off. And they also took out when they were playing cards, right? In the cabin with the Russian.
Oh, where they were playing chess.
Chess. Chess.
Yeah, they
took that out, right?
They don't show the guy Tony, the hall trainer who he beats in chess.
Yeah, he does. Yeah,
they don't show him knocking over the piece after he loses.
Yeah, exactly.
And they removed the Alvin and the Chipmunk song that Paulie was rocking to by the campfire.
Smart marshmallows. Yeah. They did take that out.
And they took out also when they get to the cabin after they land in Russia, they took out Paulie mentioning the Rose Bowl.
Yeah, that's when he falls into the snow. He falls into the snow, like, oh,
what a depression!
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
Are you drowning?
Right.
And
that part was funny. Yeah, She shouldn't have taken it. That was funny.
And I think they added another bit of propaganda to it. Apart from the fact that Rocky would have chaperones the entire time he was there.
Yeah.
They show Duke asking the driver about where the sparring partners Rocky was supposed to have, and the driver said he didn't know nothing about that.
Yeah. I remember that. Yeah, you're right.
And let's see what happens.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think. What else did they omit?
Okay, they still kept the training montage. They kept that right.
Yeah, that was accurate.
Although they still didn't explain how the hell Rocky got down from the mountain.
That mountain.
Yeah,
that mountain. How do you even get up?
How'd you even get up? You didn't get up.
That was like a legit mountain. It was like a hill. It was like a legit.
And you ain't got no mountain here or nothing like that.
Yeah. And it was hella cold.
Hella cold.
Not only that, some shit like that would create an avalanche.
Yeah. That vocals, yeah.
Yeah, screaming like that on top of the mountain.
Oh, nobody ever accused Rocky of being a thinking man.
That's true. They actually depict him as an idiot.
Except
for the most part, uneducated. Like his wife was his brains most of the time.
Except in this one. This is one where he was actually the smartest.
Yeah, smartest in this one. Yeah. You're right. Absolutely right.
What else happened? Oh yeah, before Rocky's fight with Drago, in the locker room, Adrian is in there. She's holding a pair of boxing gloves in there.
Oh,
she was never holding them.
Yeah, she wasn't.
No.
She wasn't. And I feel like did he have an extra dialogue with
Paulie
or Tony in the new one? Something different there. There may have been. Yeah, I feel like it was a little off.
And the whole damn movie was off.
Yeah. And then when they get to the fighting, the kid staying up was omitted.
That was omitted because of the robot in the back, so we didn't hear.
Yeah. Oh, the robot was in the back.
Yeah,
that's why he took it out.
Yeah, with Apollo's white boxing gloves.
Yeah. They did take that out.
Yeah, I'm like, keep that in there. I love that when he's going. I love that.
Yeah.
Like get him. Yeah. I guess they took the robot. Another reason they took the robot out, probably because it shows how silly the U.S. is, in contrast how serious they thought the Russians were meant to be portrayed.
Exactly. I will say this, to go right a little bit further back in the movie, like the Apollo's fight. This was his chance, even though it was not a big deal, it was his chance to correct the editing error where Apollo was like, I want you, and he didn't have the gloves on.
Yeah.
He kept that in.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you had a chance to correct
that. In.
I want you. Where's your glove at? And 2 seconds later, it's back on, fully tightened and fastened. Do you think people wouldn't see that or say nothing about it?
Right. Oh, well.
Like the scene from The Godfather where Sonny is actually beating Carlo Rizzi in the street, and you see the punch didn't land.
The punch,
but it's still, you should hear the sound anyway.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, as the fight is pretty much consistent. The sounds are a little bit.
They're off. They don't sound like, they don't have that thunderclap sound when the punches land.
Exactly. But then the final round was just different.
Yeah, everything, a lot of this stuff was different. Like, there was no knock him out speech from Duke right before the final round.
Yeah. That's right.
The referee comes to Rocky's corner giving him a warning.
That's right.
That was never there.
That was never in there, yeah.
And the knockout was different in this one, too, that he lands on Drago.
Yeah. It was so weird.
There was no count.
I've never seen that.
It's not a TKO.
It's not a TKO. Because it wasn't like he was knocked down previously to...
And Drago did try to get up. In the original, Drago was trying to get up and then collapse back down.
Yeah, this one he was just...
Yeah, and he falls through the ropes after about an 8 count.
Yeah.
And the referee keeps counting and counts him out.
Yeah, exactly. Definitely should have kept that.
It's a different celebration, too. Rocky just jumps in Duke's arms and jumps in the ring. Aren't you... You're supposed to be tired and exhausted.
The transition to the speech was different. Like his winning speech.
Yeah.
And then he goes ahead and daps the Russian. Like he didn't just kill his best friend.
Like, yeah, even though you killed my boy, good match. Good match.
Not only did he kill his boy, he's like, if he dies, he dies. Yeah. You're going to go dap him up after?
And the dude gave you brain damage, too.
Come on. Yes, come on, man.
The fact that you dapping him up is proof that you got brain damage.
Right.
I mean, they've been saying that since the first Rocky film that he's got brain damage, but damn, dude.
Yeah, man. Man, if you're a fanatic, you could go ahead and watch this.
Yeah.
If you're not, don't waste your time.
Yeah, they don't even the credits are different too. The ending credits.
Yeah.
It's not a montage of all of different stills
of the movie
shown in sequential order.
It's his exit.
Yeah.
Exit from the ring.
Oh yeah, and there was something different in the training montage. actually.
Which one?
In the second portion of it, the Hearts on Fire part,
Yeah.
when Rocky becomes all determined and whatnot, he doesn't go back in the mirror and crumple up the picture.
Drago, he doesn't do that. Yeah. That's right.
And instead of Hearts on Fire, it's what's it called? A different version of Eye of the Tiger.
Sweetest Victory or something like. Oh, is this Eye of the Tiger?
Eye of the Tiger, yeah.
Sweetest Victory was what they played at the end of the movie.
What they tried to play at the end of the movie, yeah. In order to give it more of the Rocky feel that it didn't have before.
Yeah. Jeez.
Yeah. But yeah, if you're a Rocky fanatic, then you can get it as a collector, watch it, or buy it as a collector's item. But any true Rocky fan knows, this is doo-doo.
Trash, man. It was trash. I am not going to advise you to go purchase or watch that. But if you're a fan, you just like to collect that stuff.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Other than that, the 301 Colored Commentators, we advise against it.
Yeah, 2 thumbs down.
Yes.
For real. Yep.
What's next?
We got that Montreal Screwjob.
Oh.
Yeah, man.
One of the most controversial events in professional wrestling ever.
Right. First of all,
you go.
We are, as you can see, we're very big wrestling fanatics. Dating back, what was that?
Let me ask you, how did you get into pro wrestling anyway?
My cousin put me on.
How old were you?
It's like 6 or 7. Yeah, so it was like late 80s. When I right around between WrestleMania 4 and 5, somewhere in between there. And I was just sold, man. It became like almost like another extension of cartoons. It was like my comic book heroes at the time. I couldn't get enough of that wrestling stuff, man. I was a big fan, especially in the late 80s to like my strongest fandom was like late 80s to maybe like early 90s. And then I kind of dwindled away a little bit, but I was still a fan. And I was a fan all the way until high school. Like, I met you, we kept talking about it, in school and stuff, until maybe the early 2000s. And I just kind of outgrew it. But especially the peak of my fandom was definitely in the late 80s to like around 92 or 93. Yeah.
Right at the start of the New Generation era.
Yeah, the New Generation era. Yeah, that was right around
when the Hogan All-American era was pretty much done.
Yeah, it was done, exactly. Then I guess that came with time. I was starting to grow, so that bliss was not quite there as it was before, but I still loved it. So I continued to watch. And I still, till today, sometimes watch some of the old stuff for entertainment when I'm bored to help me sleep.
Right.
Yeah, it puts me in a state of nostalgia sometimes. It helps me go to bed when I can't sleep. So, but yeah. What about you? How did you get into wrestling?
My older brother, he had a VHS tape that he must have taped primetime wrestling off cable, in addition to a bunch of MTV rap videos. Yeah. And I stumbled upon it one day after, because he taught me how to record a VHS on a VCR and whatnot at that age. I had to be 4 or 5 at the time. I found that VHS tape and I was like, what is this? Yeah. And I remember seeing Gorilla Monsoon and Bobby the Brain Heenan talking, and other wrestlers, Hogan, Andre the Giant, wrestling guys who were basically no-name jobbers pretty much. Yeah. But what really got me hooked was months later on pay-per-view. We just saw the pay-per-view previews back then. Like you could press the AB button on the remote. And they were showing previews for Survivor Series '88. Okay. And they were showing the backgrounds of what led to each of the team matches. And it was the Macho Man Randy Savage, his promotion for it, where he starts going off, I'm gonna turn into a nightmare
with the glasses on.
Yeah. And that just got me hooked. Like, who is this guy?
Yeah, that's my guy, man. That's definitely my most favorite wrestler. Yeah, definitely my most favorite wrestler and my most influential. I definitely loved Savage. That was my guy. He was still my guy.
He was good as a heel or a face.
Yes. Yeah. It didn't matter.
He was crazy either way.
Crazy. Yeah. I think his most, as an adult looking back, his most entertaining era was his Intercontinental title reign. I think he might have been the most entertaining Intercontinental champion I've ever seen. Honky Tonk Man's the greatest. Yeah, I give him that. That's for IC, but most entertaining because between promos and matches, it's definitely Savage. He was funny as hell. But he had style and swagger too. He had the woman always, so
Oh yeah.
He was different in that aspect. He had the beautiful female manager.
One of the first wrestlers to have a female valet manager. His wife, no less.
His wife at the time, yeah.
And she was fine.
Yeah. So yeah, that's basically how I got into it. I visited my cousins in Germany, and then they put me on, and I was sold. I even ended up loving it more than they did. They were also very big fans, but they started watching it earlier than me. They started watching it in around '86, so they were on for a couple of years.
My dad, when he knew I was into this stuff, he would often tell me about, give me like school me on some of the wrestlers, like Akeem, right, from the Twin Towers. A white guy in African garb and talk and jive talk like a brother.
Yeah.
My dad would laugh his ass off at that.
Stuff is cringy now.
It's cringy now. It can't be done now.
You can. It's one of those things, kind of like Western movies. You can't use the old concept of Western movies today.
Cowboys versus Indians.
Super racist. Yeah. But yeah, a lot of those gimmicks that happened back then, you watch them now, you're like, that's hella cringy. Like Junkyard Dog.
The Junkyard Dog with a chain around his neck.
Kamala. Like those guys. Like, come on, dog.
Insult.
How?
Or even Ahmed Johnson look like a He-Man.
Yeah.
He does. He look like a He-Man action figure with the tights on and the little balls around the belt.
Yeah, bruh. Oh my gosh. Yeah. But yeah. Back to topic. The Montreal Screwjob.
November 9th, 1997.
Yes.
It was a Sunday. Definitely a Sunday.
Yeah. Pay-per-view, Survivor Series at the time. The main event, Bret the Hitman Hart defending his title against Shawn Michaels, a rival wrestler at the time. At the time, was Bret still the face, but he was always in the gray area at that time?
It was a gray area, really. Because Shawn Michaels, him and Triple H just started DX.
Okay.
And they were definitely heels at the time. Anti-establishment heels that are slowly catching on.
Yeah.
And people were feeling them a little bit more.
Right. Exactly. And behind the scenes, there's also a story behind the scenes. Bret, he had recently signed a contract with WCW to transition from WWF to WCW.
Right, yeah.
So he was to drop the title to Shawn at the time. But the event was in Canada, right?
Right, Bret's home country.
Yeah, and he did not want to lose the title in front of his,
Especially not to Shawn Michaels.
Exactly. They had some underground...
They had some heated the locker room history back in the day.
Yeah.
And speaking of which, the Survivor Series event that I mentioned moments ago, that's the first time I saw both Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels together in the same... even in the same ring together. And it's like, looking back in retrospect, it's like, did they know how big they would become and how intertwined their careers would be?
Absolutely.
Probably not.
That match is one of my favorite wrestling matches of all time.
Oh yeah, that tag team.
I love that 10-man tag team. It was really this was just full of legends.
Future legends,
quality wrestling, explosiveness, and at the time, like you said, either wrestler. Well, Bret maybe had a little bit more stardom than Shawn at the time.
Yeah,
they still weren't. Either of them wasn't big as a solo wrestler.
No, they weren't even solo yet at all.
Yeah.
The Hart Foundation, they at least had a tag team title reign under their belt. The Rockers just got there.
Yeah, the Rockers just got there. They were a breath of fresh air in the sense that they were kind of intertwined with the MTV.
They had that MTV look. They had that long hair look about them.
Right.
But they had that whole luchador style of wrestling. Yeah, and they were exactly as Gorilla Monsoon always described them, tag team specialists. And the way they worked in sync, the way they were off the top rope maneuvers and whatnot, it's like these guys.
Beautiful to watch. Just beautiful to watch.
Yeah.
But they were never convincing. I never thought they were fun to watch, but you never thought of them beating teams like Demolition or like the big names that were just...
Nah, they didn't win their first WrestleMania until the 7th one, and even then, they were the first matchup against Haku and the Barbarian, who were basically...
At the time, they were washouts.
They were washouts and mid-cards.
Yeah, at the time.
It's a diss.
Right, exactly. But yeah, that match, you look back at that match, like you said, you wonder, like, wow, do they know the trajectory of each of their careers? Because they will become, like, damn near Mount Rushmore wrestlers.
They were, yeah.
Yeah. At the time, they were just they weren't average, but they were household names, but they weren't like top cards, you know.
At the time, yeah.
Yeah, they weren't top card wrestlers. But yeah, back to go ahead.
Yeah, what's it called? The Brett and Shawn, ever since they went solo, they've been intertwined. I remember back when I was a kid, back when I was a fourth grader, right after Shawn Michaels beat Bret Hart's brother-in-law, Davey Boy Smith, the British Bulldog, for the Intercontinental title on Saturday night's main event.
Yeah.
Right at that same event, once he won the belt, he started getting in Bret Hart's face, talking about, I want a title shot against you for the WWF belt.
Oh, yeah.
And they had some house shows, because I remember seeing some images from WWF magazines back then, showing some house shows, early ladder matches between
This was like, what, 92-ish?
92, 93, yeah.
92, 93, yeah.
Early ladder matches before they started televising them, yeah. But Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels have never liked each other.
Yeah.
They never have.
Yeah, they clearly didn't.
Because of who they roll with.
Yeah.
Yeah, their choice of friends, I guess.
Bret Hart was more like the blue collar, clean cut,
yeah.
Respect the tradition of the wrestling. Go through formalities like the way the job is supposed to be done.
Right.
Whereas Shawn was like,
he comes from blue collar too, but it's like he wants.
Yeah, he was rough on the edges. He wasn't your prototypical clean cut, go by the book wrestler. Like,
no.
Yeah.
No. He understood politics and knew how to manipulate people backstage.
Yeah.
And so did all the members of the clique. Him, Kevin Nash, Scott Hall, Triple H, and look how well that's worked out for him.
And even that,
Sean Waltman too.
Even that to even further iron out the differences in their personality. Shawn Michaels behind the scenes was like, he had issues with drugs, like cocaine and stuff, and it affected his career. There were times where Vince would fire him numerous times.
Send him to rehab.
Yeah, send him to rehab because he actually loved Shawn. He thought he had the potential to be a great wrestler, so he always kept giving him chances.
Right.
Shawn will F up, and you get fired, send him to rehab, and come back.
Enabling him.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But Bret, on the other hand, was just clean cut. He came from a family of wrestlers.
Loyal.
Exactly. Very loyal. Very loyal. Because even at his hottest, he was getting money offers from other wrestling organizations, but he tried to stay loyal to Vince as long as possible. He's definitely like...
Signed a 20-year contract.
Yeah, he's a traditional type of wrestler, whereas Shawn was not.
Shawn plays it fast and loose.
Yeah, and that's why they always butted... One of the reasons why they always butted heads.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, okay, the events that led to the Montreal Screwjob... Bret Hart, he, of course, like we said, he didn't want to drop the championship belt in his home country to Shawn Michaels, right?
Yeah.
And he was already on his way out to WCW. And at the time of the Survivor Series, they had given him like 3 more weeks to work, to do whatever else he needs before he makes a transition. Okay. And what's it called? But McMahon, I don't know what the hell he was thinking. It's like, here's what he was thinking. Alundra Blaze, Medusa.
Yeah.
When she was WWF Women's Champion at one point, but when she left to go to WCW, she took the WWF belt with her, and on Nitro, on live TV, dumped the WWF belt in the trash. Like, it's like giving 2 middle fingers to her old promotion. And McMahon was scared that Bret Hart was going to do that.
The same thing.
Like, no, he was not going to do that.
You should know him better. He's loyal to you for so many years. And he even actually was man enough to tell you, I actually signed. He could have just dipped.
Yeah.
He actually told you, like, I've actually signed with WCW. I'm about to leave soon. If he wanted to be dirty, he could have kept that on the low. Mm-hmm. And continue. If Vince, let's just say Vince didn't know he was leaving.
Right.
Let's just say Vince said, okay, Bret, you can win the title. It's your home. He could have won the title and still left with the title and done all that.
And the plan was to have him drop the title after Survivor Series somehow and then go to WCW.
Right. Exactly. And he didn't have to tell Vince that he was leaving.
No, he didn't. He still just as a courtesy because he's a good guy.
Exactly. And he's still
like, even if they went through with their original plan, it's like there's no chance that Hart was going to take the belt with him and dump it on WCW's programming. No.
Yeah, exactly.
And so Vince is like, I think he wanted to do something controversial. He knew it would be controversial.
He knew it would sell too.
He knew it would sell.
He knew it would sell too. So he just kind of.
But how it happened, how it went down though, it's like, did you watch the event as it happened?
I think I did. We were in high school.
We were 9th graders in high school.
I think I did.
Yeah, I remember being confused by what just happened.
Yeah,
Because Shawn Michaels gets put in. He disrespectful.
Yeah, he puts him in the sharp. First of all,
Brett's own move.
Yeah, he doesn't put it on right.
Right, no, he doesn't.
He doesn't put it on right, and Brett actually helps him put it on just to kind of sell it. And then, in the process of selling it, he puts it on, and then all of a sudden, like we don't see Brett tap out.
No, he did.
Hebner's like, yo.
And he runs the hell out of the ring.
Funny thing is, Brett could sense something was in the air. So even before the fight, he approached Hebner. Hebner, I forget his first name. Earl Hebner, he's a twin. So he was the ref of the match. And just to kind of, Brett respected him.
Right.
And so Brett was like, yo, if there's anything, you're not going to, screw me or anything of that nature. He's like, nah. You're fine. Like, you have my word. So, like...
But he was in on it, too.
He was in on it, too. And so everything just kind of caught Brett off guard.
Like he's the last to know.
Yeah, he's the last to know, and
because so far as he knew,
you found out what we found out.
Because as far as he knew, it was supposed to be a double disqualification.
Yeah, exactly.
But McMahon was just saying anything just to get him in that ring at Survivor Series.
Exactly.
It's like whatever concessions you want, I'll do.
Exactly.
But he didn't count on McMahon being down at the ring. And looking back in retrospect, McMahon being down there, it's like, why are you there for?
Yeah.
And
it was So there was some red flags. There were a lot of red flags, but at the same time, as loyal as Brett was, he still went through with everything.
Yeah.
And got screwed in the process.
But when he realized what happened, right at the split second before the bell rings is when he kicks out the sharpshooter.
Yeah.
And Hebner runs the hell out.
Yeah.
And Brett realized what happened.
Yeah.
And Shawn Michaels is pretending to be all surprised.
Yeah.
Him and Triple H.
Right. He grabs Shawn grabs the belt and immediately leaves the ring.
McMahon is like, you take your belt and get the F out of the ring.
Yeah.
He puts on a whole act.
Yeah.
And Brett, he spits in McMahon's face.
Yeah, he spits and he destroys the whole broadcast booth.
Yeah, and starts pantomiming WCW.
Yeah, telling them that he was going to go there, telling the fans that he was going there.
And a lot of people couldn't blame him at that point. Like for example, a week later, if you recall, on November 17th, over 8 days later, how Ravishing Rick Rude was on Nitro and Raw on that Monday.
Oh, he was on both of them. I don't even remember. But keep going. I might.
Yeah, when he was on both, right? And Raw, which proved that Raw was the one that was pre-recorded, Nitro was live. And on Nitro, he said, what's it called? People, all the WWF wrestlers should come here because of how Bret Hart got screwed.
Yeah. That was another way to screw Vince over. Mm-hmm. Well, a way to get back at Vince. Like,
get back at Vince
lying.
And
They're not. Mm-hmm. That kind of thing.
Because I remember watching, like, how the hell is he on both?
Yeah. Right.
But the immediate aftermath in the locker room, right?
Oh, man. Yeah.
The wrestlers, the WWF roster, Mick Foley was like, Mankind, he was ready to quit and gather a bunch of other wrestlers and not even show for Raw on the next day.
I remember the Undertaker was pissed too.
Oh yeah,
Undertaker was mad. He was not cool with everything, whatever went down. He
confronted McMahon, and I don't know what he said to him.
Yeah. A lot of them were not cool with it. Then Brett goes and asks Shawn if he was in on it. He's like, I swear to God, I ain't no fucking idea. He's yelling at me, man. I don't know. Yeah. Come on.
Even Bret Hart's wife at the time knew, and she was cursing Triple H out.
Yeah.
He's like, I swear to God, I didn't know.
Yeah.
I swear to God, you like Hunter, but one day God is gonna strike you down.
Yeah, his wife at the time.
Yeah, at the time. Yeah, they're divorced now.
I think he's married to a black girl now.
He is. Yeah.
But so he goes to Vince's office,
or rather, Vince goes to the locker room.
Goes the other way around. Okay.
Yeah, Vince goes to the locker room with an entourage people with him: Briscoe, Patterson, Sergeant Slaughter, his son Shane McMahon.
Okay.
And Hart's not having it. He basically told him, "If you don't get the hell out of here, I'm going to punch you."
Yeah.
But McMahon insists on talking. It's like, what? I'd be just as pissed as Hart was. Like, what the hell do you have to say right now?
Embarrassing in front of his people.
And from my home country. Yeah.
In front of his people, man. That's the worst. Over the years, Vince McMahon is a terrible person, though.
Don't get me wrong, his character
funny as hell. He's funny as hell. But as a person, human being, he's terrible.
Yeah, I'm straight up saying he's an asshole.
Yeah, he's terrible, man. He's a terrible person.
He is. I mean, all the things we heard about him in later years about how he treats wrestlers.
Yeah, man. He's a businessman. It's all about his money.
And his brand. Although sometimes he is right, like with the situation with the Ultimate Warrior. Yeah, I would have fired him on that too.
I agree. In some instances, yeah, he's right. But
but the screw job though, McMahon, he got punched out by Bret Hart. There was a scuffle when he went to go see Hart in the locker room.
Yeah. And
he ended up landing a haymaker, and McMahon was limping out and had a black eye.
Yeah, I heard about that. I heard about that actually.
Yeah.
Everyone confirms that. All the wrestlers confirm that too.
All the Harts, except for Owen Hart, they left the promotion after that.
That's right.
Owen was the only one that remained.
Yeah. I think even the Bulldog left.
The Bulldog left. Neidhart left.
Yeah.
Brian Pillman was dead.
Yeah.
And Brett, they all went to WCW after that.
Yeah.
What else? Yeah, people still appeared on Raw the next night. Taker was able to rally the troops in the locker room, saying, "Be professional. I'm just as pissed as you guys, but we got to be professional about this. The show goes on." And the whole Brett screwed Brett thing that McMahon said the next night.
Right.
That was pretty much the launch pad for not just his the evil corporate executive Mr. McMahon character, but that was really the jump off point for what became the Attitude Era.
Yeah. And it worked too, because let's understand where wrestling was at the time and who the fans were. Like those wrestlers, Shawn Michaels, Bret, are from an era where kids that were ranging between like 5 to like 10 were now kids that were now 15 to like 23.
Yeah.
That bubblegum stuff was out the door. Like we weren't into that stuff anymore. Like that the goody two shoes and the bad guy.
Yeah, the good guy, bad guy thing, yeah.
It was out the door at the time.
Even McMahon came on TV in '97 and said, kind of patronizingly, "We feel that the audience, are tired of having your intelligence insulted.
Yeah.
So we're going to not do the whole good guy, bad guy thing anymore. It's going to be more ambiguous, more adult."
Right. And it made sense.
It made sense, yeah.
The fan base had matured.
Yeah.
So, and that is what ultimately like projected or led to each of the respective superstars' careers. Like Bret being the straight goody two shoes guy faded out eventually, and Shawn Michaels became the prominent guy because Shawn fed into the stuff that the fan base was into.
Yeah, I mean he was a rebel.
Yeah, he was a rebel, exactly.
The DX, they were anti-establishment.
Yeah, exactly. We all ate it up.
That.
We ate it up, man. It was dope.
I had plenty of DX shirts.
Yeah. We were all doing the suck it at school.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. I mean, so it made sense. That's why Bret's career went down and Shawn's took off.
It did, yeah. Shawn, after this, he became a more controversial figure. Career took off further. Yeah. They even showed him and Triple H mocking the screw job the next night by pretending to piss on a Canadian flag.
Yeah, I remember that. I do remember that.
The NWO, they made fun of it as well too.
Yeah.
And ECW, Al Snow, before he came to the WWF as Al Snow.
Yeah, he made fun of it too.
Because remember when he had that mannequin head gimmick?
Yeah.
I didn't screw head screwed head.
I think I remember that. But yeah, and it also helped open the doors for other legends like Stone Cold.
Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Badass, yeah. Even The Rock, you could even tell like when they first brought The Rock in, he was on that bubblegum goody two shoes, and we hated that.
We hated that.
And when he became who he was, The Rock that we knew, he became the man.
Yeah, exactly.
So it reminds me of it just kind of goes hand in hand with other sports, like for instance, like basketball. Like our generation were into like Michael Jordan. To us, Michael Jordan can do no wrong.
Yeah.
And then into this generation,
LeBron.
Yeah, they love LeBron. Like they're like, who the hell is Jordan?
Like you don't know Jordan. Jordan's LeBron's father.
Yeah, exactly. But then it's understandable because these kids grew up watching LeBron the same way we kind of grew up from that bubblegum to become adults. We're like,
to the point where we don't even know what the hell's going on now in pro wrestling.
Exactly, yeah. We can't relate to that, yeah.
I can't relate to it. And plus we stopped watching once we got to college.
Yeah, I have one of these kids I help tutor or whatever.
Yeah.
He watches wrestling hard. And he's been trying to get me to watch it. So as a good tutor or mentor, I said, okay, one time I'll watch it. One time with you. Mm-hmm. So we cut it on, we were watching. I couldn't I couldn't go past 10 minutes.
It's horrible now.
It's terrible. I was like, yo, you're good, man. Keep the spirit up. I'm done. I'll stick to what I used to know.
yeah. You want to watch real wrestling? Come
I can't do it now. But I get they're still trying to continue. Obviously, the Attitude Era was a lot more risque than today.
It is, yeah.
But they still kept that ambiguous aspect of it going.
Yeah, today's the PG era, as they call it.
They call it PG, yeah.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, the last thing I remember that was even resembled the Attitude Era was during the mid 2000s when John Cena, when he had his freestyle rapper gimmick.
Oh yeah, when there was
you can't see it. He'll come out and freestyle
the Tony Yayo joint.
Probably where he got it too.
Yeah, probably is where he got it from. Yeah.
And don't get into it, John Cena can actually rap. I don't know why. Yeah.
I have not heard his material yet.
Yeah, the what's it? My Time Is Now. He can actually come up with some good lyrics and can spit. Yeah.
Okay.
And the freestyle, I think some of that was real that he did. Although he wouldn't last on Freestyle Friday on BET or what's it called? Scribble Jam. Yeah.
Legit battles.
Yeah.
Okay.
Against more experienced MCs. Yeah.
Yeah. Legit battle platforms. Yeah, man.
And the other thing, Bret Hart, how'd his career fare? Well, he went to WCW. He was the hottest free agent in the game at the time. McMahon even said so.
Yeah.
And WCW didn't know what the hell to do with him.
They didn't know what to do with him.
Yeah, I think Bischoff. Did you shelve him because you thought he was going to be bigger than the NWO?
Yeah, even until today, Bret was like Bischoff is the worst. It's the worst wrestling. What you call it, manager, whatever.
Yeah, he
president.
He should not manage an emotion.
The only reason why Bischoff got by was because of the NWO.
Yeah.
If NWO didn't exist, WCW would have tanked.
Yeah, the Monday Night Wars were from like 96 to early 98, I want to say. Yeah. WCW, they were killing it.
They carried it because of the NWO.
And the NWO, the concept was basically the WWF taking over the WCW.
Right.
Because most of those wrestlers in there were people that made their careers in the WWF.
Exactly.
And lastly, the Montreal Screwjob is funny in hindsight if you think about how Bret Hart won his first title. The tag team title.
Oh, yeah. Against the British Bulldogs?
Yeah.
That rivalry was good. I don't know if you ever followed it back then.
Not much.
It was a good rivalry. Because the British Bulldogs were a really good tag team. Very good tag team.
The Dynamite Kid, he was a beast.
Yeah. They were one of the... So there's some tag teams that just like are just beautiful to watch. The Hart Foundation is one, obviously. The Bulldogs, after they lost the title, WWF didn't know what to do with it. Like, they did, kind of, but they deserved another title reign. That's how good they were.
They should have, yeah, because they were good performers.
Yeah, so they would use them to sell or to big up certain
other tag team
so
talents. They made them jobbers almost.
Yeah, exactly. So they'll use them with the Hart Foundation. Even when the Hart Foundation won their titles, they developed a rivalry with the Strike Force at the time.
Yeah.
Martel and Santana.
Mm-hmm.
Their matches and their rivalry was not as good as the British Bulldogs. Because they were better wrestlers. The British Bulldogs were better wrestlers, so they
were better wrestlers. Not to take away from Strike Force.
Yeah, exactly. The fights are so much better, so it carried more weight. The rivalry carried more weight.
They did. I mean, what's it called? In part because of the Dynamite Kid. Because of his size, he tried harder.
He was an amazing wrestler.
Yeah.
Amazing wrestler. One of my favorites.
He was a mix of different wrestling styles.
Yeah.
Mexican, Japanese, American.
Exactly. And then Davey Boy was no slouch either. He was a good wrestler too.
He was no slouch at all, man. I love his physique.
Yeah, he was a good wrestler too.
Although his extensions, though, that he got in the 90s.
Later on, I was like, wait, what the heck?
Yeah.
Came out here with the braids.
Mm-hmm.
But so they were a really good tag team. Their rivalry was good, and then they obviously screwed over the Bulldogs to win the titles.
Yes, they did, and then the referee just left with them. Danny Davis.
Yes, Danny Davis cheated exactly. He became part of the Hart Foundation.
Part of it, yeah.
And but yeah, their title reign was funny. I think that was their first title reign was much better than their second, the Hart Foundation.
Yeah, the second one when they beat Demolition.
Yeah, it wasn't as prominent.
And them losing the belts led to the death of the Hart Foundation.
Yeah, so when they lost to Nasty Boys.
At WrestleMania 7, and Hart went solo.
Yeah.
His career, he was better solo.
He was a better solo wrestler. Yeah, it's a better solo wrestler. So.
His match against Mr. Perfect at that year's SummerSlam where he won the IC belt, that was one of the best matches I've ever seen.
Very good one. Very good one. I remember that. That was a good one.
Yeah.
That was a good one. But yeah, Brett, I guess his decision to go to WWE bit him in the backside.
Kind of, yeah. If he got paid, great. But what's it called? It's like, dude, you were the hottest free agent in the game, and WCW dropped the ball with you.
Yeah. Had he stayed in WWF, I don't know how effective he would have been as a heel.
In the Attitude Era, I can't see him.
Yeah, I don't know, because
he's been a heel before.
Yeah, but it was different.
Yeah.
It was different. It wasn't an attitude style heel. It was more like just a bad guy cheat to win.
Right, yeah.
He didn't have that edgy...
No, he didn't. I mean,
foul mouth.
No, he's no Triple H or Stone Cold Steve Austin out of it.
Right, or he didn't have sexual innuendos in himself. Some of the heels had that.
They did, yeah.
Yeah, he didn't. It was either you had those sexual innuendos, or you were just like a foul potty mouth type of.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, or like a straight asshole. And Brett was none of those. He was just when he was a heel. In previous times, he was just cheating, and a lot of the time it was Jimmy Hart that was carrying it. You know?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. So
even as a solo wrestler, when he went heel, it's like I'm just.
Yeah.
You make me root for the guy that, like his match against Stone Cold Steve Austin. Who was supposed to be the heel?
Yeah. We ended up rooting for Steve Austin, but who was the heel? Who was the heel? Yeah, I think that was the beginning of Brett turning into a heel because he wouldn't let go of the sharpshooter.
He wouldn't let go of the sharpshooter.
He kept bleeding out of it, so the ref had to stop it.
Yeah, Ken Shamrock was special.
Yeah, he had to stop.
And Austin never topped out.
Yeah, but then it transitioned Brett to a heel, but he wasn't. He was just a weird heel.
Yeah, like a Bob Backlund type.
Yeah, exactly.
Like how Bob Backlund snapped when he lost to Bret Hart on Superstars at one time.
Right. Yeah, I couldn't stand Bob Backlund.
Bob Backlund,
terrible.
I have never eaten marijuana. I'm like, your mistake. It'll make you more calm, probably. You crazy dude.
Yeah, dog. I hated Bob Backlund, but yeah.
And he never wrestled nobody in the 6 years that he was champion.
Terrible, man. Terrible.
Bob Backlund.
Yeah. Anywho,
what we got for last?
So I think that's about it for the screw job, right?
Yeah, that's it for the screw job. Yeah. Oh yeah, and Jim Cornette, in retrospect for the screw job, he thinks that he put the seed in McMahon's head in order to screw Bret Hart.
Oh, he did.
Yeah.
Okay.
In the backroom meeting, he just sarcastically said, just screw him out of the belt, Prince. That's all you got to do. And McMahon's like, might be onto something.
Yeah. I wonder years later how Bret thought of that, or what he feels of Jim Cornette now.
I mean, he's made peace with it, but I don't know. I mean, Cornette didn't intentionally mean to do that.
Yeah.
But it's like but Cornette blames himself, and if Bret Hart is so mad at Cornette, then he probably thinks he may just think, okay, you assuming blame like that's good enough for me.
Yep. Oh well. Anywho.
Mm-hmm.
Where we on now?
TV shows. Yeah.
What have you been on lately, man?
The show you put me on to, you.
Ha!
You and Dexter Leak, I call him.
Yeah, it's a good show, man.
Yeah, it's
crazy show, but it's a good show.
Yes.
What are your thoughts so far?
Three seasons in. For those that don't know, it's 3 seasons in, and it originally aired on Lifetime. It's about.
Oh, it did, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
That surprises me considering Lifetime's programming.
Yeah.
But it's about the protagonist, Joe Goldberg. He's a bookstore manager with obsession with books and some sociopathic romantic tendencies.
Yeah.
He develops toxic obsessions with women and becomes homicidal in regards to any obstacles between them. Yeah, the actor that portrays him is Penn Badgley, who was born in Baltimore, actually.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, born in Baltimore, but raised...
Young Raven?
Raised in West Coast, yeah.
That's cool.
He's like... The character is like Dexter, right? He has an internal monologue. He's very observant and very brilliant in how he observes things.
Yeah.
But he doesn't actively go out trying to kill people to satiate some need. It's almost always situational with him.
Yes. Situational, coincidental, but not coincidental in such a case that, okay, you're getting robbed, I gotta self-defend. More so coincidental that he's trying to get to somewhere, And on the way to getting there, he discovers such and such and such is going on, which is not morally or ethically right in that current situation. But neither is him murdering or whatever, eliminating that person. However, eliminating that person is also going to help him get to where he's trying to get to. So
and sometimes the person he eliminates is kind of hard for us, the audience, to not feel bad for them.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, like he deserved it, but at the same time, damn, Joe, you're a psycho.
He is. He definitely is a sociopath. The things that he does, like cutting off his own toes in order to.
That was wild. That was wild.
And what's it called? The another way he's like Dexter. They both have They both had adopted paternal figures that took them in. Oh,
I've never actually watched Dexter. I need to get on that. Everybody that watches this says it's good. So
the first 5 seasons, yeah. And they have a new version of Dexter.
On Showtime, right?
On Showtime, yeah.
I saw that.
They got a new version of Dexter called Dexter New Blood now that takes place 8 years
prior
in real time after the original series ended.
Oh, have you started watching it?
I've watched it, yeah. It's pretty good, actually.
Oh, okay.
So far,
do I need to watch the first 5 to watch this show?
Not really, no. You don't really need to see the original series in order to understand the new continuation.
Yeah. Okay.
But for entertainment and to understand the character, like what's it called, the first 5 seasons, those were. And plus, you gotta have a real dark sense of humor to appreciate Dexter and this as well too.
Yeah, true.
And another thing I want to say about this along with shows like Dexter, House, Mad Men, Breaking Bad, it's like those are all harder edge, morally ambiguous white men, and they all come from this particular TV show that was short-lived on Fox back in '96 called Prophet. Yeah, where one guy, one guy, he works for a corporation, and a lot of the shows I mentioned have the same format, like a morally ambiguous character does whatever it takes to reach the top. Yeah. But a lot of his victims you can't feel real bad for. He has an internal monologue, psychological quirks, and a checkered past.
That concept has just been repeated from that, huh?
Yeah, that was ahead of its time, but it was too uncomfortable and too dark at the time, so they only canceled after 4 episodes.
Oh yeah, it was before its time. Basically.
Before its time, yeah.
That makes sense.
A lot of writers are like, they got something there, and they were influenced by that.
Yeah. Why don't we repeat that, but in different
formats?
Circumstances,
different circumstances. Yeah. This You character, he's no exception.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I didn't know that. That's good to know. Thank you for sharing that. That's dope.
Thank you. You're welcome.
How do you want to do this? You want to start with season 1?
Season 1.
Just a recap of how you felt, what you thought about it.
The recap of season 1, and the show is part satire too. Yeah, because it makes fun of the the lonely internet stalker or whatever.
Yes, it does.
And of those people that use their social media to their advantage and try to get a bunch of likes and feeding their narcissism.
Yeah, it's relatable. Yeah, to some extent. You're like, okay, we are some creeps.
In some sense,
all of us have a bit of a creep in us, but how far are we willing to go? And Joe takes it to the extreme level.
I mean, it's one thing to be looking at somebody's Facebook pictures,
right,
perusing through them, but it's like unless you're actually like looking this person up to find out where they live, so you can physically go there and whatnot. Yeah, there's no harm.
There's no exactly. So like,
but he takes it further.
So like, when you see, I've done that before. Wait, but Joe's taking it to another level.
Yeah.
So you're like, wait. How far off am I from being a creep like Joe? But I wouldn't even. A lot of the stuff he does
is just like
wild.
Yeah, I mean, he looks up the girl, finds all the information he can about her.
Yeah.
Then coincidentally shows up in the same places where she's at, like a
it's just wild
comedy improv.
Yeah, it's just wild.
And a lot of the women he has a thing for. He has poor taste in women. That's always going to leave him disappointed.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Like the first girl he was with in season 1, Guinevere Beck, which sounds like a literary author, which goes hand in hand with the literary book theme of the show. Yeah, she was a child who just basically lied all the time.
True, very true.
Love Quinn, the interest from season 2 and season 3.
Yeah.
She's the same thing, although she tries to convince herself that she isn't.
That's right, and she's also.
She's crazy too.
Yeah, she's equally as psychopathic. Maybe a little more psychopathic.
More than he is. Yeah,
she's another level of Joe. Just a notch.
Just like a few notches.
Yeah,
crazy.
She's cuckoo. I'm not that Joe is not.
Not that Joe isn't,
both cuckoo, but she's
Joe,
on another level.
Yeah, Joe at least has something of a code.
Right, and not only that, Joe kind of thinks his stuff out.
Yeah, he does. He's very cerebral.
Yeah, she's just kind of like
impulsive.
Yeah, very impulsive, and then like, oh shit, I just did this. Let me try to fix this problem. How do I fix this problem?
Yeah,
she tends to fix it, but she's a lot more impulsive than Joe. You're right, and just messes all. She's wild.
She scared me. It's like
season 3. She's all just like, yo, Joe, what's up?
Yeah, she's like Miguel Prada from a Dexter season 3. How he wanted to learn Dexter's code, but then took it too far. And Dexter's like, I gotta do something about this.
Yeah, good gracious. But yeah, keep going. I cut you off. Go ahead.
Yeah, and in season 1, he's working for He's working at a bookstore in Brooklyn. Yeah, finds a girl, but encounters all of her rude, spoiled, overprivileged friends.
Yep.
And has to eliminate some of them. And some of them, it's like I don't feel sorry for you at all. Like Shay Mitchell.
Shay Mitchell's character.
I'm like, I was okay with that.
Cracked me up. She was annoying as hell though.
Yeah, and she's relatable because she's the kind of girl that I knew in the high school that we were at. Yeah, the kind of overprivileged overprivileged brown skin girl that hangs out with a bunch of white girls.
I think I know what you're talking about, but yeah, no names, dog. No names.
I'm not saying any names. But what's it called?
No face, no case. It's cool.
Yeah, she fits an archetype.
I think I know what you're talking about. You're a funny guy.
I'm just saying she fits an archetype is what I mean. We've seen that before.
Yeah.
And it's been repeated in media too.
Yeah.
So it's like when Joe killed her, it's like I've been waiting on this, but I don't understand how you didn't die when he hit you over the head with a rock.
Son!
And the blood was everywhere. It's like, how the hell are you not dead?
Son! Yeah, that was wild. Shay had pissed me off in that show. Even though she was right at some point.
Yeah, I mean, she's right about Joe.
At some point, she's right, but she's so annoying. She's fake to Beck.
Yeah, so fake to Beck.
It's hell, dog. Yo, you got some fake. Then again.
And then her issue is she's in love with Beck. That's what it was.
It's not anything I haven't seen in the past.
It's like you want Beck all to yourself.
It's like with the fake behavior amongst friends. Not my personal friends. I've just observed.
Yeah.
Yeah. For sure. But season 1 was good. It leaves you hanging,
It does, yeah.
Keeps you in suspense so that you tune into season 2. And season 2 it gets a little crazier. Like the character's a little more amped.
He is more amped. Yeah, he finds what he considers a soulmate.
What's the other girl in season 2?
The other girl too, Candace.
Yeah, she's annoying too. But
Candace is the girl that how this all originally started before Beck.
Right. Exactly. And she comes back. I haven't seen season 2 in a while, so I need a refresher. But yeah, keep going.
Yeah, she comes back from being buried alive in the woods.
Yes.
When she wanted to break up with Joe, she was just really mean to him, tearing apart books. So he took her to the woods just to talk, but she kept struggling, ended up getting knocked out. Yeah. He thought she was dead, so he ended up burying her alive in the woods.
And she gets out.
She gets out, goes to the cops. The cops don't believe that kind of story.
Yeah, of course.
So she forms a new identity in order to and tracks Joe down to get revenge on him and ruin his current life.
Right. She tries to expose him. Mm-hmm. Wasn't too successful.
No, wasn't too successful.
Yeah. But she's annoying too. It's funny how like some of these characters, like you're watching because Joe is a bad guy.
Yeah.
But you have some empathy for him. When Candace comes back, you're like, don't let Candace ruin. Like, in real life, you're like, you know what, Candace is kind of right though. He needs to be ruined. But that's
the irony. She's doing the same thing that he is.
Yeah, that's a testament to the writers and the directors to kind of get you to feel that way. Because in reality, you shouldn't feel that way.
No, you shouldn't. I mean, there's a lot of these shows these days have us rooting for the protagonist, even though the person is a bad guy.
Yeah.
Like the TV show Power. I love Ghost and Tommy.
Yeah.
I shouldn't be rooting for them at all. They're some murderous drug dealers.
Absolutely. That's another example. Mm-hmm. It's another example right there. Ghost and Tommy. Even Tariq in the new one.
I do not root for him at all. I
haven't seen that. Well, I haven't started watching the
season 2.
I haven't started watching it. I'm waiting for the episodes to pile up a little bit before I start.
Well, in any case, with Tariq, it's like I'm just like I want hire me so I can pistol with him.
The last season I didn't feel that way though.
In Power Prime during the last when he started
going against his pops.
Yeah, although some scenes
that I wasn't. I'm talking about after his dad died and he goes to college.
After that, I'm still like
you still bad as hell.
You need a beat.
Yeah, I hear you, man. I heard the season's good though so far.
So far, yeah, I caught the episode.
What episode are you on now?
Number 4.
Okay, so we got like 4 more. So maybe I'll start watching around 6.
Or 6 more, I think. I mean,
it's 12?
Because you know how Stars does. They start out with 8 and then go on to 10.
Oh, I see. Oh, yeah. That's right. So yeah. So they'll take a break, possibly.
Yeah, they'll take a break somewhere in here.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, close to when they take the break, I'll start watching. I don't like being left in suspense and have to wait another week to watch. So I let them accrue a bit before I start watching.
I got you.
Yeah. But yeah, keep going.
Yeah, with season 2, he goes to Los Angeles now and ends up working for what he calls people who reek of white privilege.
What a coincidence!
The Quinn family, yeah.
Funny guy.
Yeah, they're rich, but Joe grew up poor actually and grew up in group homes.
He did. I remember that.
So so he takes offense when people say that he's rich just because he's white.
Right.
But the Quinn family, the family that his girl is with, love Quinn, which also sounds fake as hell.
It does.
Yeah.
It does. It sounds like a character from a book.
It does. Yeah.
Yeah, it does.
And she has a brother named 40 Quinn, who is
I
such a
remember
douche.
him. Yeah.
If the word douche was a person,
it'd be your brother's brother.
It'd be him. Yeah.
So you're kind of bringing me back. I haven't seen the first 2 seasons in a while because of COVID they prolonged the making of the third. So I haven't revisited the first. I do remember what happens, but in detail you're bringing them back. So I remember her brother.
Yeah, and he was friends with like a bunch of other fellow like-minded douches in LA.
Yes.
Like the comedian Hendy, who turned out to be a child perv.
Yeah, exactly.
And what's it called?
He was into child pornography.
Yeah, so he actually, basically, he wasn't trying to kill him. Well, actually, he was.
He was. Yeah, he was. I do remember that. He was.
And what's it called? He was trying to help out his landlord who had pictures of herself nude.
Who ended up killing? Was it his sister? What, are we doing spoilers? I guess we were talking about the show. But yeah, keep going.
Yeah, what's it called? His landlord, Delilah, the Spanish-looking chick.
I remember her too.
She was fine.
Yeah, Joe smashed that joint. I remember that.
Joe smashed.
I do remember her. She has a little sister too, right?
Named Ellie. Yeah.
Yeah. Joe became cool with her.
Joe became cool with her. Yeah.
Wow, it's been a while, but yeah. Keep going.
But what's it called? Love. And when she gets with Joe.
Yeah.
She ends up doing a bunch of homicidal things to the people around him, and Joe has to cover it up.
Yeah, I remember that. I do remember that.
And he's about to do the same thing to her, but then she tells him she's pregnant, and then Joe is about to be a father. So he marries her, and they move to Madre Linda.
Yes.
Painful suburb of San Francisco.
Which brings us to
season 3. Yeah, Joe hates suburbia, and that girl, that MILF that lived next door to him.
The neighbor.
Natalie,
that joint took off quick.
Yeah, Natalie Engler. She used to, her name is Michaela McManus. She used to be one of the ADAs on Law and Order SVU.
Oh, wow, okay.
For like 1 or 2 seasons.
I see.
Yeah, but I guess the fans didn't like her that much.
So she was omitted from the show or whatever.
Yeah, they gave her the boot.
The boot, okay. Well, not so omitted, but the boot, okay.
Yeah, they didn't omit her, They kept her character in there.
Okay.
But here it's like, she's our age too, born in 83.
Oh,
and here she's got
older.
I know, they gave her MILF qualities here.
I'm they gave her MILF qualities. Yeah, I didn't even realize she's that old. Oh, young.
Young, yeah.
Yeah, she looks old.
But I wish her storyline. I wish they kept her around.
Yeah, she's like episode 2. Or I was like, dog, how fast does this show take it off?
Yeah, exactly.
I did not expect it to take off that quickly.
I was going to get rid of her that quick.
Was I already?
Right?
They're not playing. And that's when I was like, yo, this love shorty, wow. She's crazier than Joe.
Yeah, she killed more people than him.
She is crazy
on screen anyway.
Yeah, she's crazier than Joe.
Because she was killing anybody that displeased her, like what's it called, the anti-vaxxer dude, the nerdy dude, the nerdy geologist.
Yes. Yeah, I was like, wait.
And what's
even
the teenage boy that she did statutory rape on.
Oh yeah, the dad to the boy, the son to the neighbor.
Yeah, the stepson of the neighbor. Yeah. She hit him with like one of those rolling dough things. Oh gosh,
yeah.
It's like, dude, you kill anybody who's someone that sets you up.
Yeah, crazy.
And that power couple, what's it called?
Yeah, the writer.
Carrie and Sherry Conrad.
Yeah. Was she
the white and black chick.
She had was she like vegan or something like that?
A vegan vlogger.
One vlogger, yeah. She's popular. Very popular.
Instagram mom.
Yeah, very popular.
Very popular, very condescending, very
like swingers.
Yeah. And they try to have like a non-disclosure agreement.
Yeah.
With Joe and
that scene was funny as shit.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, but then that revealed a lot about how they really felt about each other, Joe and Love.
That was their therapy, yeah.
Yeah. But then that's how Joe was exposed to Love, that there was another woman. Mm-hmm. She figured it out.
The librarian, yeah.
Yeah, the librarian. Yeah.
And Love was going to kill her, too, if not for that kid being
kid. Because then she had empathy because she had a kid, too. You know?
Right, yeah.
Yeah, she would have been gone. You're right.
And Love's mother, when she went and got their son, Henry.
Yeah.
She was sitting with him in her lap when she's at the fast food drive-thru. It's like, I hope nothing happens, because every time a kid's on screen like that, it scares me.
Right.
I don't want to see nothing happen to a kid even on screen.
Exactly. But yeah, you kind of understand why Love is the way she is when her mom was revealing all that stuff about her, like her and her dad.
Yeah.
And
she was killing people back when she was a teen.
She was.
Yeah, and what's it called? They covered it up for her.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
They did.
An example of the rich white elite, which is what the show was making fun of too.
Yeah, low key.
Mm-hmm.
Low key it was. Low key. And I'm told there's a show that kind of exposes what goes on behind the scenes of the rich white elite called The Succession.
Yeah.
I need to start watching it. I haven't, but I heard it's good.
Another one like that that just makes fun of the white elite and the white privilege is White Lotus.
White Lotus, okay.
Also on HBO.
It's also on HBO.
Yeah.
I'll have to look that up or check that out. But yeah, season, the way it climaxes is wild. With the murders and how to get rid of them.
Yeah.
Or get rid of the evidence track leading back to them. A lot of it being Love's fault.
Yes, a lot of that is.
A lot of the mess was Love's fault, but he cleaned it up well. And he thought ahead because he knew how crazy she was.
Oh, yeah, in the final episode of season 3 finale.
He knew how crazy she was. So he anticipated all her moves.
I didn't know.
Straight chest.
I didn't know how the hell he was going to get out of that, but it's like...
Straight chest moves.
Smart.
Yeah, straight
Thought
chest
of it beforehand.
Moves. Yeah.
Took them pills beforehand.
Yeah, straight chest moves.
Chekhov's gun.
Yeah. And he had to take some losses to pull it off, too.
Yeah, he did.
Toe.
Burned the house down.
Yeah. And now
fake his death. And like he did some what's it called, a Game of Thrones thing in there too, like put his own toes inside the
exactly. Yeah, exactly. I remember that. It boils down to my question though, like how at some point the show has to get caught at some point.
Eventually he has
to
or
one
kill.
of the two.
Or fake his death for good, yeah.
Yeah, and just disappear or fade out. This can't realistically keep happening without him being caught. I mean,
right. It's like, I mean, at the L.A. and Montreal, Linda, as far as they know, he's dead. But New York?
Yeah. They should at least...
They know he's alive,
Something has to...
Because the way it ended, he's in Paris now.
Yeah, he's in Paris now, looking for the librarian and her daughter or whatever.
Oh, yeah, that's
why he's still looking for her.
That's right.
She went there.
Marianne, yeah.
Marianne, she went there. So,
and that's why when the black girl and the daughter came in there, he looked so
he was like, wait, is that... Yeah.
And I bet you turns out in season 4, she's not the one he's in love with neither.
That's what I'm thinking too.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm thinking.
She's not the one either.
Yeah.
He will always be disappointed.
Exactly. He's never going to be satisfied.
Exactly. You're too much of you're chasing after your mother pretty much.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. So, but
everything about him is a Freudian excuse.
It is. Well put. That's a good way to see it. The Freudian excuse. I couldn't have put that better. Yeah, well done. But yeah, we encourage y'all to. I hope you've already watched it because
I think we kind of spoiled it.
Yeah, we spoiled it for you a little bit.
And if you did listen, and if you are going to listen, then please suspend your disbelief.
Right, and also for the viewers and listeners that have watched the show, give us some of your feedback. Let us know what you thought about the show, things that we may have missed, or not necessarily missed, but didn't discuss here that you thought was really alarming about the show or intriguing about the show.
Yeah.
Also, that applies also for all the other wrestling stuff. If you're a wrestling fan, you enjoyed the Screwjob analysis, you want to add to that, talk about that in the comments. Same with, I don't know if too many of y'all watched the re-release of Rocky. If you haven't, don't bother.
Yeah, no.
Take our word for it. Take our word for it.
Yeah, take our word for it.
Yeah.
It's like when I was in ninth grade, or when we were ninth graders. Yeah. And a mutual friend of ours, me and him went to the Blockbuster Video, and we wanted to watch the Master P direct-to-video movie, MP: The Last Dawn.
Gosh.
And the cashier, she rightly talked us out of it. She's like, "Are y'all sure y'all want to rent this?"
Speaking of Master, whenever I hear things like Master P, shout out to my man Chris Dunbar. You already knows what's up. Chris Dunbar is my friend in England.
Only Englishman I know who knows how to rap Master P fluently.
He knows the Ghetto D. Ghetto D.
Yeah.
From cover to cover, he can rap it. Funny guy, man. Shout out to Chris Dunbar. Also, other shout outs. Shout out to FJ, Fred's son. Happy birthday. I know they're having something for him today, but I couldn't make it because of this.
Shout out to all of our SSK people.
Shout out to the SSK.
My Fenn Street Mafia people, too.
Yes, sir. And also to my godson whose birthday just passed, too. So, yeah, shout out to Andrew as well. But, yeah, you're right. I don't think... I've seen maybe 2 Master P movies. One of them was with Silk the Shocker. I forget. It used to come on BET. That show was so terrible.
It wasn't I Got the Hookup.
Nah, it was the other one.
Ice Cream, I'm About It? Or True?
I think it was True.
I'm About It. I remember when that came out.
I think it was True. Which one is the one with Eddie Griffin? Is that I Got the Hookup?
I Got the Hookup was Eddie Griffin.
Yeah, so I saw that one later.
Yeah.
But the one I'm talking about, it might have been True. That shit was terrible, man. I don't know. Terrible, dog. So, even the state property shows were better than
they were. They were.
My goodness, dog.
Beanie Siegel said, "You either get down or lay down."
The funniest ones that the Dipset show is.
Oh yeah, what's it called? The Killer Season.
The Dipset movies are hilarious, yo.
Did you ever see Paper Soldiers?
Nah, I didn't.
With Kevin Hart and a bunch of Rockefeller rappers have been in it. Came out in 2004, went directed video.
Oh nah.
Basically a bunch of house thieves, basically.
Oh wow.
Beanie Siegel, Capone and Nori.
Oh, I think I've seen clips of it. I haven't seen the movie though.
Yeah, it's funny. It's funny.
Yeah.
Remember, I bought that joint from Circuit City when we were in college.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, my cousin put me onto it. Like, this is funny as hell.
They're funny. I could watch some of them under the right circumstances. I'll watch and just.
Charlie Murphy had been in it too.
Oh, okay. I think I've seen clips of it. I still haven't seen the whole thing. But
He's a self-hating black cop.
Oh wow, he's on the ruckus. He's on the ruckus, on the 5-5 ruckus.
Yeah, basically. Yeah. Because how Charlie Murphy talks to them gritted teeth. It's funny.
Yeah. I can imagine. Rest in peace.
Yeah, R.I.P. to Charlie Murphy.
Yeah.
Darkness.
Yeah, man. But anyway, we've taken a lot of your time today.
Indeed, we have.
We're glad if you stayed this long. We're very grateful. Very grateful. We'd like to have your feedback on what you would like to hear us discuss. Your feedback on what we discussed. If you enjoyed it. If you wanted to add your own comments about the stuff we discussed today. What else? And we hope to have you back for the next episode. We will be back.
We will be back. This is not a one and done, okay?
Yeah, absolutely. So,
exactly. We're not a sperm clinic. Exactly. Yeah. Our next episode, we're going to be talking about The Godfather.
Yeah.
The first one and possibly the second one as well too.
Yeah.
Music that's ambiguous. Anything that tickles our fancy at the moment.
Yeah.
TV shows. We're going to be talking about the Star Show BMF.
Oh yeah. That was good. I love that show. That was a good show. Season 1 just ended. So we'll definitely talk about that.
And pro wrestling, we're going to be talking about the Attitude Era, which was born from the Montreal Screwjob.
Yeah, great era, by the way. Far different from the Golden, but very good era.
Yes, very good era. The last great era of pro wrestling, if you ask me.
And then if time permits, we may discuss the Chappelle segment.
The closer.
The closer where he almost got canceled.
And it's still being talked about now.
Yeah. That's a good discussion. And we might also talk about other stuff that is.
It's a podcast. We go off the tangent.
Yeah. So we'll see. But definitely tune in. We will be back, and we're grateful that you tuned in with us today.
Thank you. Follow us on YouTube at our channel, the 301 Colored Commentators.
You already know. And on Instagram, we're on there.
Same name as well.
Yep.
Yeah,
Love always.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yes, sir. Peace.